All right, so on page 31 of your packet, let's do a couple graphs of quadratic functions just so you can see one more time how to graph them. So because quadratics are not a straight line, they're a U shape or a parabola shape, we can't use slope like we did with absolute value. So what we need to do instead is we need to make a table of values. And so in the middle of the table, we are always going to put the vertex. So the vertex for this function is 0, 4, because there was no shift to the left or right, but only a shift up 4. So 0, 4 is my vertex. Then I'm going to go up from 0 2 values, so -1 and -2, and then I'm going to go 2 values in the other direction from 0 to fill out my x column. Then from there, I'm going to take the x values in my table and plug them into my function for x. And I'm just going to use my Desmos calculator to help me do this. So I'm going to type in -2 squared using parentheses plus 4, and that gives me 8. So when x is -2, y is 8. And then I'm going to replace x with -1. And Desmos is really nice because I can just change it to say -1 squared really easily. And so when x is -1, y is 5. Now I could plug in 1 to my calculator for x, or I know because of symmetry that 5 has to go on the other side of the vertex. And so you can see plugging in 1 did give me 5. And then I could plug in 2, but I know again because of symmetry, this has to be 8. And just to see, if I plug in 2, I do get out 8. And so I'm just going to plot my points. -2, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. -1, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, 4, 1, 5, and 2, 8. And so that gives me my parabola, my U shape. So let's do number 3. So number 3, my vertex is 2, 0, because I went right 2, and there's nothing at the end, so that means I didn't go up any. And I'm going to go 2 x values above 2 and 2 in the other direction. And then I'm going to take my function and plug in 0 for x. So I'm going to go into my calculator and type 0 minus 2 squared. That gives me 4. And then I'm going to plug in 1. 1 minus 2 is 1. And again, I could plug in 3 and 4, or I can just mirror over the y values. And so I've got 2, 0 as my vertex, and then 1, 1, and 3, 1, and 0, 4, and 4, 4. They're really nice to graph, especially because of that symmetry. A little bit harder to draw the curve. All right, last one. So let's put our vertex in the middle. So it went right 5. The -5 is actually going to the right, and it went down 2. -2 is down 2. And I'm going to go 2 x values above, 2 x values below. And I'm going to use my calculator to type in x, which is 3, minus 5 squared, minus 2. So I'm just plugging in 3 for x into my calculator, and that gave me positive 2. And then I'm going to plug in 4 for x. That's going to give me -1. And then I'm going to mirror them over. So -1 and 2 go here. Again, you could plug in 6. Oop. And I'm going to get out -1. You could plug in 7, and I'm going to get out 2. So you could use a calculator, but you know what I like to say, work smarter, not harder. So I always like to plot the vertex first. I'm not sure why. So 5, -2, and then I do 4, -1, 6, -1, and 3, 2, and 7, 2. And that's going to be my parabola. So that's how we graph quadratic functions.